Hey you! Yes, I'm talking to you there. Do you like manga? Do you like a little bit of an older series of manga? Well, how about a manga series that is about both magical girls and idols? You take them together, and what do you get? You get the manga series Mink, which is what our topic is about today. Let's go ahead and dive into the world of Mink. So let's go ahead, get it out of the way. Spoilers, 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 spoilers. This is a manga series that is in fact already finished. There's only 6 volumes. You can actually go ahead and read it for free. There is a link down below in the comments. Check it out. It is a really good series. I don't want to spoil this one for you guys because this is such a good one. So definitely read it online, come back to the video, and we'll talk about it. But as we can see, I have my copy here. This is an actual copy that I got, and honestly, they're not that hard to find. They are on Amazon, they are on Mercari, so I would definitely also suggest if you're more of a in-person manga collector like I am, and you don't want to read it online, definitely try to get this series. This is one of the best series that I think I have read in a long time. I was so excited, and normally I don't do this. Normally I do not read online, but I just had to. I had to know more about this series because it is so fantastic. So let's go ahead and talk about what is Mink. I'm sure you're curious by now. So Mink is a manga series that is now completed, and it was published in 1999 and ran all the way to 2001. There are 6 volumes, and it was published by Kodansha Ltd. And last but not least, this series was created by the mangaka Megumi Tachikawa. And if you're like, hey, wait a minute, that name seems really familiar. If you are a big fan of magical girls, this mangaka is huge into the magical girl manga world. Also, as the mangaka of Saint Tail and Dream Saga, which is another one that we will be covering on this channel, and eventually I will also be talking about Saint Tail. First and foremost, I just have to say that as a writer myself, I really love the flow that this series goes with. It is so cute, and it's also just really nice the way that the story dynamic, the relationships play out. It's just really good. It keeps you hooked, it keeps you interested, you want to know more without feeling super overwhelmed. So let's go ahead and now talk about the plot of the series. We start off this series with our main character, Mink. Yes, her name is in fact Mink. That is the whole purpose of this story. It is completely about her. So Mink is a schoolgirl, and basically she is your typical obsessed idol fangirl. She loves idols, and in particular, there is one boy that she is head over heels in love with. He is her all-time bias. She adores this guy. The idol's name is Ilya, and he is honestly in his prime right now. Like, he is getting those brand deals, he's on TV, he's everywhere right now, and he's just about to release some new singles. And so we basically get to see Mink kind of fangirling about him for the first half, with him being on TV, and finally we get to school after a long morning of sitting by the TV and watching this man that she is completely obsessed with. He is a teen idol and she is a teenager, and she is completely obsessed with him to the point where it is definitely parasocial. I wouldn't say necessarily in a creepy way, but she does refer to it as love. When we get to school, we see that she has 2 friends, and these 2 friends are chatting. They're kind of butt heads sometimes, but one of the friends has a bento box and actually has an extra one as well. And so she runs off to go give this bento box to who they assume to be her boyfriend. And so when the friend teases them about it, Mink starts to question herself, and she's like, I just, how can you love this idol but also have a boyfriend? I don't understand. I thought you loved him. And the friend is like, girl, you can like someone famous, but it's not the same as loving someone just in general. Like, do you really think we have a shot with the idol? And so this really gets Mink thinking. She's like, there is no way that I could love anyone ever than my all-time bias Ilya. Which, to be fair, she's kind of starting to sound like a little bit of a deranged K-pop idol at this point. But as the school day progresses, her friends decide, hey, let's go to the CD store and go get his new album. We want Ilya's new album. So as they rush over there, there is an accident that happens, and Mink is involved in this accident. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a bike comes by, and there's a boy on this bike, and he's a little bit older than Mink. They get into an accident together, nothing super bad or anything, just a few cuts and bruises, but basically, he protects her, and he says his courageous, dashing, charming line of, "You shouldn't worry, girls don't need to worry about things like this. I need to protect your pretty little face from getting hurt." And so, that makes Mink's little teenage heart pitter-patter, and she's like, wait a minute, what is this feeling? I feel like I'm cheating on my idol crush. Am I in love? And so obviously you kind of see where this is starting to head. There's a little bit of a love triangle. She's still obviously obsessed with this, I almost said K-pop idol. She's obviously obsessed with this idol, but now a new contender has entered the ring and she's having feelings for this guy. And so there is this funny little scene in the first volume where we actually find that the bento girl who had been running off for her quote-unquote boyfriend was actually running out to find her older brother because their parents are now divorced and she doesn't get to see him anymore. And that brother is the boy that was in the car accident that now Mink has a crush on, and his name is Motoharu. And Motoharu, once again, is on his father's side of the divorce, and his father is like big time producer, idol producer, and so in order to keep their company, their failing company might I add, alive, he's out here trying to find his diamond in the rough, the best idol, the best of the best to bring their company back to its former glory, and he's looking everywhere for a new idol. I'm not gonna lie, one of her friends really reminds me of Ami Mizuno from Sailor Moon, very techie, loves computers, and so they actually stumble upon this computer, and it's got this really weird program, but they go ahead and install it anyway, because, yeah, you should definitely mess with stuff that you don't know what it is. Why are you like this? This program boots up, and it is called Wannabe, and it has this very cute little robot with a propeller head that is called So basically, it kind of asks you, like, who is your ideal self? What is your ideal self? What do you want to look like? What do you want to sound like? What is your ideal version of yourself? So you have to enter things like your name, your age, birthday, month, year, day, blood type, height, and romantic experiences, tons or nones. Curious as the girls were, they go ahead, Mink dots in her information, and then with one click of a button, boom, magical girl transformation. Oh my god, everything has changed. Mink's natural hair color is kind of blonde, and it kind of turns into this baby blush pink. She's got a very extravagant, I refer to it as Sailor Moon type buns, because, I mean, come on, if you're gonna have buns and two tails that come from them, that's just Sailor Moon. It's very curly, it's very pretty, and she just transforms, and out from a sea of bubbles, she emerges. Beautiful, elegant, and just honestly, a sight to behold, because she just appears out of nowhere, and everyone fixates on her. All of a sudden, she is the center of attention during a public broadcast, and she catches the eye of everyone. And while this broadcast is going on, it is actually being held by who I'm just going to call Mean Idol, because I don't remember her name, because I don't really like her character, because she was very mean, so I'm going to call her Mean Idol. So basically, Mean Idol is hosting this little, like, program and stuff, and all of a sudden, here comes Mink in her new idol form, and basically steals the show, steals her thunder, and so that creates a rivalry, because how dare this nobody upstage me? I was on the show with Ilya. I deserve to be the idol. And we'll come back to Mean Idol, because she just kind of serves as like a mini antagonist throughout the story, just kind of like being a little bit mean to Mink and challenging her in the public eye, so we'll come back to her. And it is here where Motoharu sees Mink as an idol for the first time and is like, that's it. She is my muse. She is who is going to bring our company back to where it used to be. I need to become her manager. And so he tries everything to find Mink again and find who she is. And eventually they do meet again as regular Mink and not idol Mink. But here's my one complaint, is that Mink, regular Mink, tells him, my name is Mink. And he immediately goes, oh my god, I never guessed that there would be another girl with the name Mink. Oh my god, can you believe it? Are you a fan of idol Mink? Because oh my god, like dude, put 2 and 2 together. Like, come on, don't be dense. Like, what? Like, I understand it's kind of like that Clark Kent kind of trope, but like, her name is literally Mink. How many people do you know with the name Mink? I mean, come on. Be real. And so basically throughout this manga, Mink is kind of struggling with turning into an idol and also trying to win over Motoharu because she's now in love with him. Even though she does like the idol Ilya, she's honestly kind of head over heels now for Motoharu. And so she's kind of doing this balance, and right now in the manga, the first volume at least, it is super fun for her. She is loving it. She's loving being an idol, and she's loving being able to help the guy that she likes try to reach his dreams as well. This is a big secret that her and her other 2 friends are now dedicated to keeping a secret. Nobody can know about the wannabe device, the program, and nobody can know about how idol Mink turns into idol Mink. So they got a big secret, and she wants nothing more to reveal the secret to Motoharu because he is now in love with idol Mink, but not regular Mink, because he doesn't put 2 and 2 together. Very Adrian Agreste, if you will. She's just a friend. So with her friends supporting her behind the scenes, Mink is trying her best to help this man that she loves and get his company back up and running. So she's doing all these idol appearances. And towards the end of this first volume here, she runs back into Mean Idol, who publicly makes fun of her on live TV because there was a lunch prepared for her. She didn't eat the lunch. So now she looks super stuck up, like, these people worked really hard to make this lunch for you, Mink, and you didn't even bother to touch it? How rude. And so we see this panel where, like, the viewers are like, oh my god, she didn't eat that? Oh my god, so stuck up. Which, being the clumsy ditzy girl that Mink is, she's like, you know what, I'm gonna play up the part of an idol. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't know that. And then starts like spouting out facts about fish. Did you know that about this fish fact? And the audience are captivated because look at this really pretty cute girl with all these funny facts. Like, you just never know what's gonna come out of her mouth. She is just a fireball. We love that in the idol industry. She just says whatever she wants, when I think we all know that in real life, that might get you under fire. But with that, it wraps up the first volume of Mink. It literally ends with her and Ilya working on a published song. He actually threw away one of his songs and she took it, sung it, and everyone was like, oh my god, it's amazing. And he saw this and he was like, you are the muse I've been looking for. I need to produce your songs. So we kind of leave this off with, like, once again, the love triangle, and also Mink is, you know, kind of getting close to her, like, boy crush idol, and also kind of getting close to her just regular high school boy crush. And so that is where volume 1 ends. And so that is where I am going to end on a synopsis of the story, because once again, I really love this manga series, and it's free. You can read it online for free. There are 6 volumes if you want to collect them, but once again, there's a link down below where you can read it for free. So I highly, highly suggest reading it because it is such a fun little series. And also, let's go ahead and dive into some questions, because I'm sure that there are some questions about this. 1. Why is she called Cyber Idol Mink? Once again, it's because when she actually transforms, it's like a magical girl transformation via the computer. So basically, a computer program kind of messes with her DNA. love that direction, and turns her into an idolized version of herself. The perfect idol. Pink hair, cutesy personality, beautiful singing voice. She has it all. She doesn't even need to practice singing or dancing because she's already perfect. This program just makes her perfect. So it's basically like if you took a regular idol and crossed them with Hatsune Miku. There you go. Idol Mink. But is there any danger with using this program? Absolutely, because if Mink reveals her true identity to anyone using the software, because this software is from the future. The future. I don't know how they got their hands on it, but anyway, they got their hands on a future device, and if anyone were to find out her true identity, it would be 1, serious crime, and 2, she would be deleted. Idol Mink would be erased forever, never to be shown to the public again, because this form would be completely deleted. But wait, there's more. Let me read you a little bit from the manga. So our robot friend here says that this is a violation of Article 4 of the Space-Time Management Law Code. We're in trouble now. If anyone finds out, then what? Then you, I, and everyone connected to Cyber Idol Mink, 1, have committed first-class felonies, and 2, will be erased. You must not tell anyone about this. Do you understand? We don't know where or when the people from the future will be checking on us. Also, you must return the software to the same place where you found it. Are we clear? So not only will Idol Mink be deleted, but also regular Mink and apparently her 2 friends, because they're just here with her. They're accomplices in this, so we're all gonna get deleted together. Thanos snapped together. That is the true epitome of friendship. So yes, there is a very, very big danger when it comes to Mink actually revealing her secret identity. So what about the forms? If you have seen anything about like Mink, you probably have seen the cute little fairy. I think I have it on my thumbnail. I'm recording this before I make my thumbnail, but I'm pretty sure I put it there because it's super cute. Mink, once again, cyber idol. She can transform into anything that she pleases. If she wants to be a fairy, she can be a fairy idol. She can be anything that her heart dreams of because she is a cyber idol. So let's wrap up with my final conclusions. I definitely think that this manga is worth your read. It's a little bit of an older one, but for me personally, I prefer that older style of manga and anime. I just love it. I don't even know how to describe it. I just love, the style of manga. If this had an anime, I would be eating this up. I highly recommend it. This is one of the few ones that I would absolutely recommend a 10 out of 10 to, because this one was such a great series. It was cute, and it was a little silly at times, and idols and magical girls coming together, my 2 favorites. Like, what else could I ask for? If you love more of like a 70s to 80s big anime engulfing face, eyes, the skinny necks and whatnot, then maybe this one will be a good for you. If that's not so much of your style, maybe this one isn't that good of a style for you. And from what I can see, this series also wasn't something that Tachikawa was even going to make. It's just something that they kind of fell into. This story really, really mimics Hollywood idols, K-pop idols, but definitely with more of a censored twist. Obviously, they say the word delete instead of end, or can I say kill on the internet? Genuinely, if you want a little bit of a cuter series that's honestly kind of sweet, and there's not a lot of, like, obviously there's no gore, there's not a lot of fighting, there's not a lot of anything besides just, I'm an idol, and I'm having fun, and I have to pick between 2 boys. It's a very soft, sweet experience, so I would definitely recommend it if you don't like things that are super gory or have lots of fights or honestly lots of drama. This one is very drama-free. Her friends are very good, and honestly the only characters that you're not really gonna like is probably going to be the other idols who are kind of competing against Mink and whatnot, but genuinely, this was such an enjoyable manga series. I highly, highly recommend. It's one that I feel like like is not super mainstream. I haven't seen a lot of people talking about it, so I wanted to make this video just kind of spreading some light for it. Once again, I am going to be making some other videos by the same mangaka on other series of their mangas because they look so good. Like, I seriously want to know what Tachikawa was on when they created such amazing series, because it's like banger after banger after banger. They're so good. The art is so beautiful, and we know on this channel, likes a good magical girl series, and they have a whole lot of magical girl series. If you have read Mink, let me know down below in the comments, how do you feel about it? If you want to read, once again, the manga online, go ahead, check out my link in the pinned comment, and let me know your thoughts after you've read it. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!